action, Reese-O-Matic, my guy. It is currently Tuesday morning and my friend Reese is still hungover from celebrating with the Brisbane Lions boys and friends and family on Saturday night through to Sunday morning. I don't know how those guys are still going. I know they had the Bad Monday at West End yesterday. They'll be launching in the stratosphere. They got a fucking parade as well on this afternoon. It's going to be a big week regardless.
Huge.
Reese.
Yo.
Welcome back to Brisbane, mate.
How good?
Give me give me a rundown because it looked like a movie. I flew down there on Thursday night.
Crazy, bro.
Caught up with a few of the boys, a few of your mates.
Yeah.
Ended up Saturday, biggest day of your life. Ended up on the field, and then you went out with all the guys. I just saw some footage on your phone that I haven't even talked to you, so I saw footage on your phone. I really just want to unpack it all and what the experience is like for an ex-player / fanboy of the Brisbane Lions. Just give us a little bit of a rundown.
It's such a blur, like that whole day. It was a pretty emotional day as well. Like it was crazy, but I guess sort of after that 3/4 time, you're like, fuck, we're home, and that's when it all hit you. And because I do love that club so much and the boys so much, like I was quite emotional.
Yeah. Well, you cried after a fucking final a few years ago.
Yeah, so it was for them to win it, especially after last year.
Yeah,
was huge, and to be able to get out on the ground. Yeah. So I had some wristbands to go down to the rooms, obviously to celebrate with the boys.
Are you trying to rub that shit in or what, mate?
Nah.
How'd you get the wristbands?
Special contacts.
Greg Swan, you fucking legend.
Special
That's
contacts.
so good by you. Run us through that because after the game you went down to the field.
Yeah,
because you're in the family section.
Yeah,
right?
sort of just hanging out with all the boys. They sort of were hugging and all that type of stuff. So
the Resi boys.
Yeah, and those guys that missed out playing
Injuries
and family and friends and whatever. And then we went down and Swanee just said, grabbed all these people, said, come out in the field. It was obviously the boys, but I was there and I was like, fuck, I need to go with these boys. Like,
did you think you were going to get onto the field?
Nah, I didn't. I was going down there to celebrate in the rooms, but God, it was special. And, it's, like I said, it was pretty much, it's just such a blur.
I'm going to play a video right now for you guys who are watching at home, and this is what it looked like after the game for Reese. Boom.
But, what a way to end. Honestly, it's the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Like, there is nothing that will even come close to me.
I could tell.
Unfortunately, I wasn't on the list this year and whatever, but the club still means a hell of a lot to me.
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate fanboy.
Yeah, they made you feel like you're still part of the club.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I got to catch up with the boys, obviously, morning of and that type of stuff. But, yeah, to be able to party with them afterwards and do all the celebrations and stuff was...
what's the flips? What's like... Because last year, it's such a big difference of feeling, obviously. Like, you were with them last year after the games. I was in Melbourne. I was going to catch up with you guys. I FaceTime a couple of the boys, and it was somber, depressing as fuck. The boys didn't want to be there. They had a parents, and they're just like... Obviously, you're going to drink the night away to try and, like, get rid of those feelings. But what's the contrast? Because last year was probably the worst day of their lives to probably the best day of their lives.
Oh, it's pretty hard to put it in words. Like, it's just pure enjoyment, and you feel, because you're having so much fun, the time flies. So that's why it's such a blur. But I don't know, you could just tell, like, the family and friends, like, it's kind of weird because you're not going that crazy because you're talking and you're celebrating with family and friends. So, it's hard. It is really hard to put in words. But like I said, it's probably the best day of my life. Special moment. So glad to got to be part of that club for 8 years and be down there on that day I can go to the grave happy now.
100%. I'll text you that on Sunday.
I'd give up all my grand jackpots, all my money, everything to be able to relive that day again. And for the way they did it, just amazing.
So watching from home, I thought after quarter time, I was texting you throughout the game and I was like, make sure you send me a photo, yada yada. When I was watching the game, you were so adamant that, okay, it's halftime. The boys obviously put on a monster lead. You weren't sold though, or you just didn't want to jinx anything?
I didn't want to jinx it, and
they were so far away. I
know.
They were not it.
They looked so good, and they really did look so good. But I had Big Tommy Ford in my ear saying nah, they can't be beaten from here. They can't be beaten from here. And I was just saying,
the whole country,
mate, shut up. But I don't know. Maybe just because of the start of the year.
They did blow a few leads.
Yeah, they blew a few leads. If you watch Lachie Neale's press conference at halftime with Abby Holmes,
yeah, he did.
He was so serious, and you could tell he was like, righto, we've got a job to do here, and we're up and about. But
that's fucking leadership because I would have been in party time, baby.
Yeah, so that's how I was feeling the same way he was. I was like, when I come home and watched it yesterday because I wanted to see it from the TV.
What a fucking nuffy. He's just lived his best moment in person and he's going, you know what? I'm home. I'm hungover. Let's watch the game again.
I watched the full game. So watch all the presses, everything like that. So what Lachie Neale did, I think sums it up. So if you want to put that clip up, so if people didn't see it, that is what summed it up for me. And then after the third quarter, going into the last, that was when it all hit us, and it was pretty special.
We spoke about it last week, like we were sick of close games and having to come from behind and stuff, and then we mentioned that would it be so good for them just to have a quarter, just to live in the moment.
Yeah.
Like we're winning in grand final, we're going to win the grand final. And for that to come to fruition was actually mind-blowing that has actually happened, because they're other than the Colton game, those 2 games, they were like, okay, our season's done. At some stage in those games, they would have been going, we're done here. Like, we're done. It's another year that we didn't get to the Holy Grail. For them to come out in the last quarter and just be able to enjoy the moment, suck it up. Obviously, they still would have thought about, we've got to win this game. You can't take the foot off, whatever. But they all would have known, okay, we've fucking won this. I'm getting shivers. Look, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, bro.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
One of my favourite comments was Cam Rayner after the game.
Yeah.
And he's such a good friend of mine, but Joey Danaher as well. And he said, Joey walked up to him and said, with probably 10 minutes ago, I think we've just won a premiership. And like for them to have that feeling with 10 minutes ago, knowing some of my best mates can run around.
I've actually got fucking goosebumps.
After the season they've had and all the media and the riffs and all that were talked about, the Vegas bullshit, which was all crap. Like for them to have that moment and guys to be able to do that, is so good for me for those boys.
It couldn't happen to a better bunch of blokes as well.
It's awesome.
On the flip side, you have Sydney Swans who would be absolutely depressed, devastated. They're about to go into an 8-week off season, just fucking flat as tack. 2 grand finals in 3 years, and they're being absolutely pumped in the butthole. 80 points and 60 points. Like, I can't imagine what they're going through, because at least like Lions last year lost by a few. So obviously that hurts a lot, and probably even more so when you lose by like that with a few minutes to go. But to lose by such a margin, it's more so embarrassing, and your ego just takes a big kick to the nuts with that one. So I know they're going to be struggling, and they'll be back in the finals next year. They're not going to go anywhere.
They'll be around the mark again.
But that's demons, brother. That's demons.
But I think also that was Brisbane getting it right, and they got it right on the best day of the year. And I knew this all season that they had some sort of performance like that in them.
Yeah.
And like I said, 18, I think they kicked, 18 12.
Goals,
So 30 scoring shots again on a grand final day against the best team. Like, I knew this would come at some point.
Man, I could play all the highlights from you talking about it leading up to this game.
And I sucked them off every week, and I had every right to, because they just had to score properly.
Yeah.
And they put it all together.
Yeah.
And, and that's what happened. That was a result. So I knew something like this was going to come.
I didn't expect it on Granny Day.
I didn't expect it on the big stage. I thought maybe throughout the finals they might get it. But, they got it right on the right day. Best game of the year for them.
I could legit play your highlights of you just saying, like, they're a potent scoring team. If they all rock up and play the game, like, they just can't be beat, yada, yada. I reckon it was one of the most complete performances from 22 blokes plus McKenna that came on.
Yeah.
I reckon that was the most complete performance from a team I've seen in a long time. I can't even remember them fucking turning the ball over. Like, I know I was probably like entrenched in the game, whatever, but I can't remember them doing something that was like, oh no, here they go, Sydney's are going to get on a run here.
It's really hard to pick out someone that just like, oh, he was a bit quiet. Like,
there's no passengers.
There was no passengers. Yeah. And, to get that right on the biggest day, well.
Yeah. You'll see some blokes that had like fuck all touches, disposals, stats or whatever, but they had their moments, and the coaches always, throughout history, the coaches always say, win your 50-50s, win your moments in the game. It's a game of inches, yada, yada. I just see all the boys just doing what they had to do to get the win. And it's like, obviously there's some standout performances, and we'll go through that, but holy shit, man, this kid, Will Ashcroft, I can't compare him to another player in the AFL. He's got similar attributes to Gary Ablett Jr. in the way, like, I've tagged Ablett Jr. and I don't see Ashcroft ever getting tackled. The way he's in a contest, just stands, he composes himself and gets out of the contest when someone's on him, just falls off.
Yeah.
His time in with the ball in hand, he looks like he's just got so much of it, where you see a lot of players panic with the ball, just punt to get it out of there, whatever. He's just so composed with ball in hand. He's the youngest ever to win the Norm Smith. I'm not going to say it's controversial or whatever. Like, it's just a great story. Lachie Neale was right up there, and then he obviously got a few junk touches late, which got him to 35. I think they were both on 31, 30 at some stages, whatever. But he had amazing game, man. What did he have? He had 30 touches, 5 clearances from a 20-year-old.
Yeah, coming back after a knee.
It's just like, it's unbelievable to me. And we know, like, he's a full-blown nerd. Like, he doesn't do anything, like, he does everything by the book and more so. He has his app. He does all the clean eating, does all the extra training. Like, you can tell he just lives and breathes footy. You can
one of the best mentors in the game.
Who's that?
Neale.
Lachie Neale.
Those
exactly.
two,
is he under his wing?
Their 1-2, like, their handball, like, as a 1-2, it's the best in the comp.
Oh, bang, bang.
They're the best hands in the comp. For both of them, it's a serious punch for Brisbane Lions.
It's ridiculous. And for the blokes like Zorko and those guys, for him to be a 35-year-old, 36, I don't know what the fuck he is, to have 26, 6 tackles, 405 metres gain. And you can tell, like, when I was watching the celebrations after the game and watching him go on stage and that, you could tell how much the boys respect him for what he's done for the club. And he could have fucked off any time and gone somewhere else when they were getting pantsed every week by 100-some points. He stayed fat with that club and he got rewarded, like, in the end. But for him just to change his whole role this year and to do it so well and be that player off the back line. Dan Rich left. There's a couple of players who probably I could throw up there, but they're just like a pinch hitters in the back line. He's just taking, he's had one of the fucking best years and he deserves it thoroughly. So
there's so many good stories that come out on grand final day. Like he's one of them. And
Froggy Lester, mate.
Ryan Lester's another. Like for those guys to be able to win it, like we know what it means for them. So to the public, it might just get pushed over a little bit, but to see, you know, they've been on the bottom, like bottom of the ladder.
Froggy could have been delisted ages ago. Yeah, he could have been done 5 years ago.
Done. He was playing full season in the VFL and whatever.
He'd always rock up probably the back half end of the year, and someone might get injured who'd come in the team and play his role. But he could have been done so long ago. But like we're going way off sidetrack. We're winging this whole chat. Do you see him making the granny next year, or you think like it could be like, oh, we won it, pressure's off now. Let's just. I reckon that'd be better because there's
they've got some people to come back,
and they've got pickups.
Yeah, so possibly the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, they will get him.
And
Ashcroft's brother, if you didn't know who that was.
Then you get blokes like Darcy Gardner.
Yeah, Link McCarthy.
Tom Duday.
Kitty Coleman.
Although
I did see on Riley's Instagram that he had another surgery. I hope it's just a clean out.
So I didn't see that, but I seen him on grand final day. He was in pretty good spirits, as we all were.
But this was yesterday. I saw that.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I can only see him getting stronger. So yeah. I don't know.
It's crazy.
The game evolves every year, so you don't actually know. But
they could miss the 8 next year. Who knows? But
they had no right this year to do it. No, and they did it the way they did. It was pretty good.
I've obviously buried the hatchet with the head coach Fagan. Probably started last year, I'd say. Obviously we had a bit of a falling out towards the end of my career, and I think went a bit of both ways. But for him to get coach of the year again, like 2-timer, and there's some fucking big names up there that's done that, and everyone can have their opinion for him, but he must have done something seriously special halfway through the year, around 13 onwards, because they looked shithouse. And I was like, this is embarrassing for them, the way they were going as a club. And then for them to come out and do that, like we both knew that they had the ingredients to be able to make finals and stuff, but I didn't see them get on that run. And then getting in the finals and doing what they did, like credit to him, I messaged him yesterday, like said, congratulations, enjoy it. He said, no worries, thanks, Bizzle. The fuck, what is Bizzle? And I was like, he surely didn't mean to text me that. I'll just read a message. Where was it? Chris Fagan. I was like, congratulations on the premiership. Truly happy for you all. Bloody thoroughly deserved. Enjoyed taking the cup back to Tassie. And he goes, thanks, Biz.
Maybe it's a Tassie saying that you're not up with.
And then he replied like 5 minutes later, he goes, oh, I mean, thanks, Mitch. I just sent a text to Clint Bizzle who played for the D's. Appreciate your message.
Oh, yeah, good as.
The Clint Bizzle!
Yeah, you can imagine his phone's going off
mate, that's why I've only texted a couple of the boys because I haven't even got a reply from Hugh McClargy yet, which is butthurt about. Everyone else I've messaged has said something back, so they'll be celebrating hard. But yeah, shout out to him as well.
Well, they've gone up a step every year, so it was bound to happen.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I'm glad I was biased this year and backed him in all the way. And
you could have jumped off, but like I did.
I think there was a point about halfway through where they started winning, and I was catching up with the boys at the cafe, and I said to them, oh fuck, if you boys just put it all together and get it right. Like, there's a few blokes not even firing, and you're on a rampage right now. Yeah. You're going to win the grand final. I can't see anyone beating you.
That would have been like 3 or 4 games.
Surely enough, I didn't realise the finals campaign was going to be like this. But
if you're a betting man too. Why did you just put that where your money in your mouth is, bitch?
I don't know.
But fuck, you would have made a fortune.
Yeah, I would have. So, what a weekend. It was definitely the best week of my life, and all thanks to Brisbane Lions. And felt the boys made me feel a really big part of it, so I can't thank that group enough.
You did say that they said I wish I was there, but I don't believe that.
So no, they do. There was a few wishing you were there,
Fuck that. I bet you it was just Barry.
Yeah,
it's just Barry.
Yeah, there was a few.
Just Barry. Yeah. Don't talk shit in my face. I know you're fucking lying. Trying to make me feel good.
I had your jumper on for you.
Yeah, you didn't get it signed, did you?
I didn't get it signed.
That was the one opportunity for podcast memorabilia for history.
I know. Well, we can still get it signed.
We will. And we will. Because they'll do like a signing session.
It hasn't been washed. It's got booze all over it.
Yeah, they'll do a signing session.
I wore it. I was sweating in it. I was crying in it. I did it all in it. So
you can have that.
Yeah, it was. You
can have that jumper. Because that was a good look.
I wore it for you.
That was good luck. Yeah, I was there in spirit. As we said, Norm Smith medal. So Will Ashcroft had 14, Lachie Neale 8, Calamachi. Fuck me, Calamachi.
Crazy.
Show him some respect, Lizard.
No respect.
Oh my God, man. Him and Kai Lyman, if he kicked 2 more goals in the second half, he would have had the medal.
Crazy.
He's 3 goals Oh.
Just their finals campaign.
Well,
we called the small forwards of Brisbane.
Yeah.
They looked good.
He had 10 goals for the finals, most of any line. It's ridiculous. Callum Archie, put a couple of extra zeros on his contract. I don't give a fuck.
I think Charlie was important for him on that day too. He set the tone real early.
With his competitiveness and tackling and pressure.
And stuff, so,
yeah, I'll give him that. Fuck, if he didn't kick that second goal, I would have been flat because hit my multi.
Yeah.
So I was actually like, fucking Chucky, run in front of goal.
I think he was good as well, Charlie. But
mate, they all played their role.
They just played their role.
And then we had Kyle Lemon with 1 vote. Man, I love that kid.
Yeah.
He's
crazy.
Who was best on that night?
Who was best on that night?
Yeah. I want to know because Kai, he has fun.
Yeah, there was a few boys that had just fun, but like I said,
it'd be hard to pinpoint everyone.
It was so hard because there were so many family and friends, and I'm sure, I don't know about the other grand finalists, but I'm sure a lot of people are talking to it and they're celebrating, and you know, so it's not.
There's so many people. It's not like it's not like a Mad Monday. Or something. You can just see who's doing well.
It was probably who's best on now. After that.
Oh mate, so they'd be going again today.
Yeah,
credit to them. I'm sure they're all going to do this thing, and then they're going to go to New Zealand, right? A few of the boys. So
I am going on that trip with them.
You've earned that, man. Jeez, you're actually. Are you still contracted to Brisbane?
I want to be the number 1 ticket holder. So
can you get that? Who is it?
I don't
Isn't
know.
it Abby Jane Coleman?
I don't know who it is.
I think it's Abby Coleman.
I want to, but also I think I was a little bit emotional because I'm such a diehard fan as well. I went from these guys are my best mates to this year thought it would be easier that I wasn't there playing, but it actually got harder.
Really?
I just wanted to see him win. So I thought not being there, I can sit back as a fan, drink beer, watch him play, but it was harder because I really wanted him to win this year. So
that's how I felt. Probably the year after. This year, I was like, I didn't really care too much about the Lions as an establishment, as a club, whatever. But I obviously have their closest mates. Everyone goes, "Oh, are you a Colton bloke or are you Brisbane Lions?" I'm obviously Brisbane Lions. There's some blokes in that team that I fucking forged a bond with for the rest of my life. I don't catch up with people. I don't hang out with anyone. You know that. I don't do any of that stuff. But they know that, man, when that final siren went, I was getting so emotional. I didn't talk to anyone that was here on the couch. I was just watching it all. And I fucked up. I deleted Twitter.
Yeah.
I tweeted out, said, why the fuck are people booing Huey? And then I forgot that, obviously they go, Hugh.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like...
No one could ever boo that guy. He's not guy ever.
That's why I got butthurt. I was like, that's my fucking winger, brother. Yeah. Don't fucking boo Huey. People was like, you're drunk, Robbo. Get off Twitter, mate. Another fuck up from you. They're saying Hugh. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, look, I'll just delete that tweet and I deleted Twitter.
Oh, shit.
I just got to get off Twitter, man. I'm fucking up with that shit. I got
to
get off Twitter. Bro. But no, so that's the number 1 guy that I'm probably the most happy for, Barry and Rayner and those guys. So you want to delve into a few of the stats and shit?
Yeah, have a look.
Because I don't know where the fuck Sydney went wrong. Obviously, they started well in the first quarter. And then second quarter, I was like, oh my goodness gracious Jehovah, this is getting silly. But the team stat, I'll just run that stats for you to get your head, because I know you know footy and you probably haven't read the shit, but they out-disposed them again. Brisbane Lions aren't a high disposal team.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, 385 to 305.
Really?
And that was evident on the day.
In favour of Sydney?
In favour of Lions.
Oh, yeah, in Lions. Yeah.
So these are Lions in front of these.
Yeah.
Inside 50s, 51 to 49. So there's only 2 difference.
Yeah, I knew that was close.
That's
I knew that was close.
Crazy.
The entries.
They were shit house.
Shocking.
But it was the same as Geelong
week before.
And Brizzy
set up so well.
It was the same as the week before.
Yeah.
Every time they went forward, they had no answer. And the boys looked that comfortable.
It's crazy.
It's blew my mind. It probably helps when blokes like fucking Leicester, Harrow and Zorks are having 11 marks and 10 marks each. But yeah, so the obviously thing with those inside 50s, right, it was 66% efficiency scoring to 38. So that's what you're saying. When they went in there, I think we had the most marks in history or something. I don't know, but we're just marking everything.
Second most this season.
Was it really?
Yeah, second most this season.
Inside 50, was it 21?
Oh, no, as in marks.
It was 22 inside 50 marks to 9.
Yeah, okay.
It blows my mind.
But is it a total of just marks in the game? It was the second most for
was
the
it really?
season. Yeah,
because I was going through stats and it was ridiculous.
So
hit outs 42 to 20, and we even the clearances. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it matters if you got a good ruckman or not. Where does it matter?
Oh, it's just
around the ground, maybe contested marks and shit,
stuff like that.
But you're saying you were saying off air before, you were saying no, he didn't rock up to play, he didn't really do much. I'm like, he's had 22, 36 hit outs, 7 clearances. He's done a fucking good job. He's the only bloke in that team, the Sydney Swans, I think, who actually wanted it. 40's not a shit ruckman. You spoke about him. You said he's too good for VFL.
I know. And Joey Danaher had a seriously good game as well. So
with no hit outs, but he still played really good footy. But yeah, I just feel like the midfield, man, we can talk about, we can throw shit at Swans all day or their players that didn't turn up. Goulden had 24, Warner 21. What's his name? Heaney had 14. We can say they shit the bed, whatever. But the fact that the Lions has played so well,
it was the Lions.
You can't do much about that.
Yeah, it was Brisbane. And although Sydney were close at the start,
it
was still noticeable that Brisbane had a lot more of the ball.
They just didn't panic, man.
And something had to give, and eventually towards the back end of that second quarter, it did, and that was the game. So, you could tell that they were dominating the game.
But yeah, we've spoken about these players already in a little bit of depth. Archie, Lohmann, 4 goals. Like for Lohmann especially to be a fucking, what is he, third year, and he was getting no games in his first second, like pinch hitting every now and then when someone got injured. For him to like come into the team and bring that energy, like I don't want to link him to Ackermanis because they're different blokes and different type players, but like the energy that he brings to the team is
the boys thrive
phenomenal,
off him.
man. 100%. And to be so young and have that effect on a team is crazy. Archie, who I've spoke about like throughout the whole finals campaign, he's been my finals player. If he doesn't win that award, I don't know. Well, yeah, probably Lockie does, but he's been so good, man. Yeah. And it's a player that you don't expect that from. I expect him to be like, okay, he might lock down on a defender and do like a bit of a tag and roll, or he can take a few marks here and there, whatever. He kicked 10 goals throughout the finals is ridiculous, and he was on the scrap heap, not scrap heap, but he got traded from Gold Coast. He wasn't really that type of player that I thought was going to flourish.
Yeah.
Got on the wing, did some good stuff on the wing for a couple of years, then went back. They tried to use him as a backman, like a rebounding defender. But like he's just cemented himself in folklore with his forward craft this year. It's been, and especially the finals. Like credit to him. I absolutely love that bloke. He's killed it. We can talk about these guys. Everyone's been sucking them off.
All day,
I know. So. We can suck these guys off. Lockie and Ashcroft, like they just we know what they did. Zorko dominated. Dunkley, he was my smoky. Like I spoke about him for a normie.
Well, he had the job on Heaney.
Yes. So I don't know, like, why has anyone been talking him up? Have you seen it anywhere? I haven't seen it anywhere. He's had 21 disposals, 11 tackles, and he's shut down probably the best player.
Yeah,
in
and
the
he went
AFL.
to Heaney most of the game. So
I don't know. He probably had him around stoppages, right? Because he couldn't go with him outside of that. But like, just for him to have that effect on the club since he's been up here, 2 grand finals in 2 years. He's played in 4-1-2. What the fuck? That's depressing as. Like, proud as of the number 5 doing his job on the big day. Backs, Leicester 11 marks, Harrow 10 marks, Zorks 10 marks. Like, what the fuck? Moddy played well as well. Like,
just got it right on the right day.
The one that counted. That's just a strong defense, man. Yeah. Oh dear, it's just hard.
Starcevic on Papley. Yeah, like, they just got it right, and there's
Yeah. So we can't even keep talking about it because
we're Chris Fagan. You couldn't be prouder of that effort.
He was going, I will kiss every single one of you on the lips and more for just rocking up on the biggest day of the year and just dominating, boys. Yeah. Like, played your fucking role.
I knew they had something like this.
You did.
I knew it.
You did.
And it just happened to be on that day.
You did. Can you run me through what you like? You've watched the game back, sober. Can you run me back through like where did Sydney go wrong? I've got my opinions. I just think they just didn't defend. They just didn't pay any respect to some of the players on the ground for the Lions.
Yeah.
When I was watching the game, I was actually pleading with fucking a few of the players in the Sydney Swans backline to get a fucking man. Yep. Like they obviously had their game plan. I'm guessing it was like it's a zoning thing because they didn't look like they were manning up at all. I don't know if it was a respect factor, it was game plan or what, or just got overawed by the emotion of the game. It was just crazy for me to see.
Just let Brisbane own the footy too much. Too much leg rope. Yeah. Didn't close the gap.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, but I think that's been the comments around it. But you can't let a team have that much control of the ball throughout the entirety of the game and expect to win. And
I don't think Big Horse could have changed anything in that game.
Don't know, but yeah, too much leg rope. They just owned and chipped and marked the footy all day, and it was evident from quarter one. So
how windy was it down there, by the way?
Yeah, it was swirling
like a motherfucker.
It was swirling. So, but
we were still switching it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this kick just came to mind. Hughie McCluggey just kicked from the back line
to Ryan Lester
in the middle.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. Lester, like you don't do that. The fuck?
Yeah,
just run off and got that, and then like boom. I reckon that really set the tone for the day. Like it's windy, grand final, because a lot of teams can come in the grand final and be like, okay, they get a bit dish in the headlights type shit. Like, oh, I don't want to go for that kick because if I turn it over and that's goal, that's like world news. The boys did not give a shit.
No, they didn't care.
They didn't care.
But they had
been there last year, so they're probably like,
I like that they got to play the G 2 weeks in a row.
You did say that.
I did like that.
You like that side of the pool.
I did like that side of the pool. But yeah, they just own the footy too much, and that's if you're going to do that at AFL level,
any team will catch up.
You're going to get cut up.
I don't really know what else to say about the Swans or the game itself. Yeah. Like I don't even really want to talk too much more about it because
the atmosphere was sick there for me. Like I'm in the family section with all the friends and players.
Yeah.
I know people at home thought it was a shit game.
Yeah, so I want to play you this from our mate Willie Mason, who has, I think he's gone down to his first grand final, right?
I went down there for the AFL grand final expecting, what everyone's talking about, right? Oh, it's the best day. It's probably the worst major event I've ever been to.
What do you mean?
I was expecting, there's 100,000 people there. I'm like 25 minutes in, this is fucking boring. And I think it was maybe what the Swans dished up. What a mad.
Very underwhelming.
Very underwhelming. And if I speak to most people that were down there, it was very underwhelming. If it was going off just like an event, it's fucking terrible.
I heard Katy Perry's performance was good though.
I didn't rock up for Katy Perry. I thought she was, and I didn't know she was before the game. I thought it was half time.
Oh, gotcha.
She's before. I'm not rocking up at fucking, 2 o'clock to watch Katy Perry. So she would have been on at 1:30 or some shit. I wasn't nowhere near it.
Yes.
I think it would have been way better if it was a great grand final, but it was over by quarter time. That's what it is. And that's what a lot of the supporters were asking me, how was it? I'm like, I was bored shitless. And then they go, well, because of the game was pretty shit. I went, yeah, well.
Yeah, that would have to be. That's the main
Sydney
factor.
Swans' fault then. Fucking have a decent crack. He reckons it was the teams that were involved. It's the supporter base. He goes, if you go to a Carlton-Collingwood game,
huge.
They go, fucking, this will be off its head. That'd be like going to a South and Roosters grand final.
Anyway, I practically just said, like, he's a funny guy. I love it.
Look, it was funny, but I disagree with it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a Brizzy supporter. Yeah. I disagree with it because there was 100,000 there. I don't know what NRL get besides
not
that.
Like not even 30 to 40.
Our prelims are bigger, but yeah, it's a major event. And I was in the Brisbane family and friends, and it was rocking in there. Pumping. The atmosphere was good. And I don't know if he was listening, but the whole stadium was singing Country Road. Yeah. They were singing Zach Bailey's songs. Like, what other events do that for a certain player on the ground and just sing a song based off them? Like the whole stadium singing Country Road.
Well, you were there, so obviously, let's be honest. He's a leaguey. He's going to pump up the league no matter what. Yeah. But he's pretty honest with some of the shit that he will say. So that's his opinion, but I think because league has 2 halves, so he's probably saying the first quarter, right? So I'm guessing
he said quarter, so he might
probably thinking I'm going to give him benefit of that, saying that he probably thought half time
because there was only like 4 points in it.
But I can understand what he's saying because he doesn't know AFL, doesn't really watch it, whatever. He's coming down there expecting like a fucking arm wrestle of a full-on game because it's meant to be the 2 best teams playing the granny. Obviously, Sydney dished up that shit, and it would have been pretty depressing coming from Sydney to watch that. But at the same time, when I was watching it at home, I had a rock hard because I'm a Lions guy.
Yeah.
So I was watching it going, okay, yeah, sweet. But if it was like a last year's grand final, or if it was Geelong and Sydney that couple of years ago, most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. Like the only thing I remember from that game was Jezza Cameron's celebration.
I think if you watch it on the TV, I watched it back yesterday. Yeah. It's not as exciting at the ground. The atmosphere.
It would have been nuts.
Was nuts. Maybe they just don't understand, and that's fine. Yeah. But
I think he's being biased, obviously. But that could be opinion for a lot of people who are just tuned to watch the game because Swannies are in it, and yes, they're 2 interstate teams, and they're not a Carlton-Collingwood grand final. Like we know what will happen if it's a Carlton-Collingwood grand final. Yeah. It'd be the biggest thing in history. Obviously, 2 interstate teams. Lions don't have crazy amount of members, neither do the Swans, but
still 100,000.
Still 100,000 at the game for 2 teams that don't have. I think they got probably like 50 to 60 each thousand.
And obviously the sting was taken out of the game.
Yeah,
but like I said, if you're a Brizzy fan and you've been to games before and know the atmosphere and know what's going on, that was rocking for us. It was rocking.
No, from all reports, like talking to the boys and some mates that were there, they reckon it was one of the fucking. And mostly Brisbane supporters. So that would have been like, it was fucking one of the best games I've seen in a long, long time.
Like, you've got a lot of supporters singing Country.
Fuck off, Coley. Fuck Fremantle. Hey, jump on, Coley. We'll get you on real quick.
Jump on.
Come sit in the hot seat.
No.
I don't give a shit. Come sit down. I just want to talk to you about Fremantle real quick. Well, don't come here when you know we're about to record and then rock up with that dirty ass attitude. Just sit in your car. All right, Maddie, that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today. Like, there's going to be copious amounts of news coming out with trade rumors, all this stuff. Some random nuffy singing Fremantle's going to be the best team ever because they apparently have the biggest salary in the world.
And still no players want to go there yet.
Still no players are choosing Fremantle. They're choosing West Coast, which is crazy to me. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be a lot of trade rumours this offseason. And we'll keep doing the AFL chat. Don't you worry about us, mate. But people at home, what do you want to see Reese and Robbo do for the remainder of the offie? We're going to obviously talk footy. That's a guaranteed. We're going to get some guests on, so please comment who you think should come on the podcast. Can be AFL players, can be porn stars, can be OnlyFans people, can be gym junkies, can be anyone. Anyone you think would be good chat. We'll obviously get our footy people on here because it's based around that. But NRL Grand Final this weekend.
Yeah, so...
Do you know anything about the Grand Final coming up? Do you know, like, who's tipped to win, who's playing well?
I think...
I know you've been sucking off AFL for
last year I was NRL flat out because, I don't know, maybe it was weird because I was in the AFL, but now I'm not. It was full AFL season for me.
Yeah.
But obviously going to back Penrith.
Yeah.
And
back to. It's a four-timer? No, not 4.
Yeah, that'd be 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
4 in a row.
3. They 1-1, lost 1. 1-1.
No, it's 4. It's for 4.
They've done a 3-peat.
They've already done a 3-peat.
It could be. I remember they won 1.
Let's have a look.
They won 1 and then went on a 3-peat. Panthers.
I thought this was for 4.
I don't care about 1910. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Bum, bum, bum! Sit on that and rotate.
I got lied to then.
No, you didn't get lied to. You're just a dum-dum.
You just don't know.
You're a big dum-dum. You think Fremantle's going to fucking make grand final next year? Dum-dum.
There's something about this guy. He always asks me like things, and I tell him, and he goes, "No, it's not going to happen," or "This is not going to happen." I told him Brisbane going to win the flag. He said, "No, they're not even going to make finals." And surely enough, I told him I'm going to beat GWS, beat Geelong. There you go.
Were so adamant too. Anything you say from now on means fuck all to me. By who?
I told you got to start listening to me.
By random NRL guys or players? What? And you too, Jesse. You're a Queenslander from Ipswich. You don't fucking know anything.
Anyway.
You know the question, asshole. Comment below what you want us to be doing during the off-season. Let us know. Obviously, we've got some great contacts in the Lions. Might do some pre-season training. Might do some off-season training with them. That'd be cool. See if you can get around. You couldn't do anything, could you?
No, I'll probably do a hammy or something. Too heavy at the moment.
You wouldn't get around in 5 minutes of their training.
But, I mean,
you used to be a gun runner too.
Yeah, I got better, but
you worked hard.
I might just have to train with them this offie because they won the flag. So,
mate, if we don't get down to Cooper,
these put them through a few gym sessions. The boys. So
get ready for that. We might do a live potty from Project Reform with the boys. Cam Rayner owns that gym. He'll be in there shifting some tin. He's going to get better.
Premiership
next year.
Gym now, baby.
Premiership Gym. If you haven't signed up already and show you how you get games like Matho.
Hey, first year the gym open, Premiership, baby.
Oh, shit, that's true.
Well, we're counting it like that anyway.
Resource, that is an AFL season done and dusted, mate. I'm actually proud of how far you've come in the podcast game.
Thanks.
You're blowing up all over the internet sphere. You're doing some good shit. Look, mate, if you aren't already, just follow the bloke because he's doing some good things. I actually love watching his content. Yeah. We're going to be back next week with something we don't know yet. Barry promised he's going to come on.
He might be not in any form to come on.
Not right now.
But
he's coming on, man. He said it. He said he's coming on.
We'll try. Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
So we're going to get Barry on, and I'm going to tag him in this post because fuck you, Barry. You better come on at one stage.
And thank you for your Premiership hat, JB. I'll look after it for you. You're more than welcome to come get it any time, but it's in safe hands.
No, keep that shit. We're going to get the jersey framed, get the boys to sign. Obviously, Matho promised that, which he didn't do it, but obviously, he's celebrating.
I'll
the
get
boys.
it done.
What the fuck else are you going to do? So thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on. This has been great. We are blowing up. Look at these statistics.
Bulls.
And we'll see you very soon. Peace out. E-Town.
Nice.